Welcome to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha, and this is a pick a card reading to find out what will happen with this situation. I've got 4 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the red Jasper. Group 2 is the Amethyst. Group 3 is rose Quartz. And group 4 is Unakite. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice, otherwise I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below in the description box. You can also find details of my personal readings, Patreon where we do exclusive pick-a-card readings and channeled readings, my PayPal if you're interested in donating to my channel, and my social media links if you'd like to follow me. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in your reading. This reading is for you if you chose the red Jasper. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have flexibility. From the Modern Witch Tarot, you have the 7 of Cups. And the 9 of Wands reversed. And then from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the High Priestess. It feels like there's a decision to make in this situation, or there will be a decision, a choice to make, and it feels like there's a lot of different options, there's a lot of different ways that this situation could go, I want to say. Depending on your or maybe someone else's decision, it might not be anything to do with you. It might be that you've done all that you can do and it's like in someone else's hands now for some of you. If that's the case, if it's like a decision that's in someone else's hands, I do feel like it might be quite a wait before you get any answers about it, and you might feel quite confused, and I feel like you might give up waiting on this situation, and it might be like you go with another option rather than waiting for this. But yeah, if it is your decision, I feel like it feels like you will have to think about it for a long time. I'm seeing some of you might think about it for so long that it kind of turns into like a no for something. It's like the energy of maybe you have like a lot of different options and you end up thinking about them for so long that you don't end up doing any of them. It's like you sit and think about them all and you don't end up taking action. I feel like this reading is giving a vibe of things being a bit chaotic, a bit confusing, not very straightforward, not very complete, I want to say. Like there's a sense of incompletion and a lack of a sense of people knowing what they're doing. It feels like people in this situation are not really sure. I don't know if it's you or other people, like I said. Especially if you are waiting for other people, it feels like they may not be sure, they may be confused, they may be trying to make some choices. And it feels like waiting for people would not be very good in this situation. It feels like you might wait around for something for quite a while. What I'm feeling is waiting for like external information and maybe ending up getting it from yourself. Like maybe you're waiting for communication from somebody and the lack of communication kind of gives you a message. Or yeah, like in the fact that you maybe don't want to go for any of your choices, it kind of tells you that none of them are right for you, and maybe you're getting, or you will get some kind of intuitive messages that maybe none of the options or decisions related to the situation might be good for you. I'm also seeing there's a sense of maybe being too focused on one thing and like trying to stay with one thing for too long. Like I feel like there's a lot of options, but somebody in the situation might be kind of trying to force one thing to work, trying to stay with one particular thing for too long, and it might be that there's a lot of different ways to approach the situation or ways of doing things. Or for example, like different situations you could choose from, and it may be the wrong one to put effort into. Not necessarily the wrong one, but it may be one that is maybe a bit frustrating. There's a sense of like lateness, waiting around, and then maybe not wanting to wait anymore. Also, I feel like there's a possibility for plans to be delayed or plans to be changed at the last minute. If you're asking about like a specific occasion, I would say there might be a lack of communication and things may not really take off or move forwards the way you would like them to. It may be a bit frustrating. And also, I'm hearing that you might wait for something but somebody else is not waiting. Or you're not waiting but somebody else is waiting. And like a lack of people's schedules being on the same wavelength. It feels like people are not really on the same wavelength. People's schedules are not like able to meet up is what I'm hearing for somebody. This is coming through a bit random because I feel like you guys are going to be asking a lot of different questions. Every time I do these kind of readings, it's always a bit funny. But yeah, I do feel a sense of you having the answers in your intuition. I do feel like there's going to be a wait. There's going to be a period of stillness in this situation. Things will seem very confusing, and I feel like you're going to have to go with the flow. You're encouraged to not stick any situation out for too long, to kind of go with what happens and go with how you're guided. A little bit of advice coming through, because it does feel like, yeah, like I said, like certain things may be confusing and people may be confused, and things that maybe have been invested a lot of effort into may not be turning out exactly as they would be hoped to right now. And it might be that in the meantime, there's like other options you can pursue, other things you can do to try and get things to happen. But yeah, I'm seeing it very, very confusing. There's a lot of different ways this situation could go. And I do feel like it does, again, to go back to the beginning, it does depend on somebody's decision, whether that be yours or somebody else. And you're guided to not be too hung up on this situation, too stuck on this situation, and listen to your own intuition on the matter. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that group 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. If you're interested in personal readings or Patreon where I do exclusive pick a card readings and channeled readings, then please check out the information in the description box. You can also find my PayPal if you'd like to make a donation to my channel. I'd be super grateful, as well as my social media if you'd like to follow me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Amethyst. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Relaxation. From the Modern Witch Tarot, you have the Tower. And the King of Wands. Then from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have Judgment. And the Ten of Wands. This is interesting. It does feel like this situation is going to have like a lot of surprises coming to you, I feel. There's something very, very big and surprising happening here. It may be very out of the blue, very shocking. But in the meantime, I feel like you can relax about it. You're encouraged not to stress about this. But I do feel like this may lead to a lot of work, and I want to say a breakthrough in your work, or a breakthrough for somebody with work, or just in general a breakthrough. It doesn't have to be a work question, but I feel like for the majority of you watching, it probably is something to do with work, or something to do with something that is very hard work for you. It doesn't have to be like an actual job, but something that is tough, and also something that may be over a very long period of time, I want to say. But it feels like there's a lot happening in this situation. This situation feels like it is going to lead to a lot of work. I want to say like a lot of work, but it does feel very hard. It feels tough, and not just on a physical level, but also spiritually tough. And I also feel like you have to make very, very big decisions with regards to this situation. It's not right now, like you can relax for now. For now, it feels like there's not anything big happening and you kind of have to wait. But at some point, there is something very, very big happening. I feel like you will hear news that will shock you. And again, it may be very out of the blue. It may be like an announcement that is made or something, or a phone call or something like that. And I feel like you will be maybe waiting for it. And like once there's a sense of like a news or an announcement or a call that happens, and then you have a lot of work to do, or you have a big job on your hands, or there's a lot of pressure on you. But in the meantime, you can relax, and it feels like the wait will be a bit difficult for you, like a bit tense. There is a sense of tension. There may be some conflict here, but I do feel like the conflict will be resolved. It feels like good decisions will be made, good judgments will be made. I feel like the people involved have good character, and decisions made will be very fair and right and just. I also feel there may be somebody who's impatient in this situation. There might be somebody who's very relaxed and somebody else who's very impatient. And that might lead to anger. That might lead to anger or stress or frustration or like pressure, too much pressure on somebody. Yeah, there might be too much pressure on a particular person in this situation. It might be a particular person who feels like they're doing too much, a particular person who feels like they're taking on too much, and maybe somebody else in the situation who's more relaxed and not having as much to do. And yeah, I do feel there's a sense of like a big announcement, a big communication, and a change happening, a very big change that may be out of the blue again, very shocking. I feel someone may speak their truth in this situation. Someone may be very angry and frustrated. There may be a lot of anger under the surface. And they may have just been keeping it all to themselves. And I do feel like they want to express it in the right way. They want to communicate it in the right way. But they might end up just like blowing their top. But I am seeing any situations that go wrong will be righted. It feels like something is happening spiritually to right things. And I also feel like a lot of work is being done on the material plane by you or somebody else. There is a sense of having to wait. I feel like having to wait and trying to relax while you wait and not be so tense about the situation, because it does feel like overall I feel like there is going to be difficult times and stressful times in this situation. But there is going to be something right that happens, something big that is good, something that's just right and something that feels destined, I want to say. It leans towards being something that's very miraculous in the end, but it does feel like it's not something that just happens to you. It's like something that you have to do. You have to put in a lot of effort and work to make it happen. But this is not right now. Like I said, this is spanning a long time. It feels like it's not right now, this situation, when something happens. It feels like you can relax right now and you're going to have to wait before anything big happens. But when something does happen, it's like a very big deal. A very, very, very big deal. So do be ready and waiting for things to progress, but at the same time try and not be too stressed about it right now. Try to reduce your anxiety right now. But especially if you're looking for a job, this is very good news. And yeah, if you are asking about any career questions, I would say this is very amazing. If you're asking about relationship questions, it feels like a lot of work is needed to correct things, to like rebuild things, to restart things, to relax things, to release stress. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that group too. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you like this video. I make a lot of readings like this. If you're interested in personal readings, Patreon, where we do exclusive pick a card readings and channel readings, then please check the information in the description box below. You can also find details of my PayPal if you'd like to donate to my channel. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the rose quartz. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Voyage. From the Moon Witch Tarot, you have the Hermit. And the Nine of Cups. And then from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the Fool. This seems like a very promising situation. It feels like the outcome will be very, very, very happy to you. You'll be very, very pleased with how this goes. But I do feel like you have to be quite open to things. Like things may be a bit of a long journey. I feel like it's a bit of a way before you will see this lovely, lovely outcome to the situation. But what I'm seeing is there's some information to find out. There's some things to learn. There may be some communication you receive that happens. You also may have to go somewhere. You may be going somewhere, you may be asking about a travel, a trip, and it feels like it would be very, very blessed if you are. But yeah, it feels like there may be some information to find out, some kind of details to get, some research to be done, some information to find out. I'm also hearing there needs to be some introspection about the situation. Like I feel like you can find out some details by introspecting about it. Because I feel like there's a lot to be gained in the future, and it's like the future is going to be very fresh. It feels like there'll be no more time for introspecting about the past in the future is what I feel. But for the present, it feels like that's maybe what you'll be doing. It feels like there's a time period where you may be alone. Alone, or someone else may be alone and focused focused intensely on something, I'm hearing. Really trying to find out information, trying to progress, trying to learn, trying to research, trying to dance for somebody. Somebody this may be about like trying to progress as a dancer, and it feels like it's very promising for you. It feels like there may be an opportunity online. That's very specific, sorry, but it feels like you're going to be a big star if that's you. I'm also feeling in general like this situation could lead to stardom, especially if you're doing something online. Especially if you're traveling as well, if you're like going to do something abroad, it feels like it will be something very big and memorable. It's like a star event in your life. In general, this situation feels like a very star situation. It's like very perfect. But it may feel a bit anxiety inducing for a while. I feel like you may want to keep checking on it. You may want to like keep watching readings on it for some of you. You may want to keep asking questions about it and things like that. Keep researching, again, I'm hearing. But I do feel like everything is going to progress very, very beautifully in the future, and it's a good time to get closed on the past and anything that you have going on, because I do feel like this situation is opening to something. It's like you will need to be ready and open and have the space for this situation and what it brings. Like it's leading to more. There's a lot of potential in this situation is what I want to say. It feels quite new, or like there's something new coming of this. Like it will lead to something new that you'll be very happy about. But with that will come like new questions to ask and new possibilities and new openings and new situations. So yeah, it feels like this has the potential to go very, very, very big. And I feel like it will go very big, but it's like a journey. This may be a bit of a transitional period for you right now, where you're like nervously checking and wanting to keep like notifying yourself about the situation. But I do feel like eventually you're going to relax about it and everything is going to turn out just as it's meant to, with a lot of luck. It feels like something very lucky is going to happen. So really, really nice reading, Group 3. I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. If you're interested in personal readings or Patreon where I do exclusive pick a card readings and channeled readings, then please check out the information in the description box. You can also find my PayPal if you'd like to donate to my channel. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Unakite. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Protection. From the Modern Witch Tarot, you have the Two of Swords. And the Nine of Swords. And then from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the Five of Pentacles. Well, this feels like quite a challenging situation. I do feel like there is a lot of protection from the divine for you. It does feel like there may also be actual support for you. People in your environment, or maybe organizations, like for example, like maybe a job can come if you're like finding yourself without work. It may be that kind of help, like not like a person in your life, but like an organization, or like if you're having health problems, you could get a doctor that helps you. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing. It's like you're not alone, but you may feel alone at times in this situation. And I do feel like it will be very stressful and challenging at times, very difficult. I also feel like there may be something you can't currently see, or something you're unwilling to look at currently. Something you're kind of shutting out, but you may need to pay attention to it at some point. I also feel like you may end up walking away from somebody and they may try to follow you back. They may try to stay with you, like continue to go after you want to leave them behind, or something like that for somebody. It's like the energy of maybe you try and say goodbye to somebody or block them and then they want to come after you again. Then they really miss you, or vice versa. I feel like this situation is going to be tough. I'm going to say that again. It feels like tough mentally, tough physically, and a bit tough spiritually, but I do feel, again, you're spiritually looked after. You're very protected, and I also feel like there's family members and people who will look out for you. Just general support systems and structures that are in place to help. If you're having any problems, it feels like there's some sort of help available to you, I want to say. And I'm feeling like this situation is going to be a bit wearing on you, like physically it may be very tiring. For some of you, you may be dealing with some sort of health issues, or maybe just like a feeling of being exhausted and depleted. You may also be dealing with some insomnia or difficulty with your sleep schedule and things like that. It just feels like a bit of a problematic period for you with whatever you're asking about. But like I said, there is a lot of hope and there's a lot of growth, and it does feel like something is very secure. Something is very stable and can't go anywhere. It feels like it's built to last. It's like a very strong structure to support you. So even though it does feel worrying, I feel like it's not as bad as you think. That's what I'm being inclined to say. It's not as bad as you think. I feel like you do need to look at it. It feels like some of you might be shutting your eyes to something in this situation because you don't want to deal with it. But I do feel like it will, once you start like dealing with things, it will not be as bad as you think. It's like the case of maybe a lot of things coming up at once that look really, really bad as a big picture, but it's like once you can deal with them one by one, they're not that bad. And I also do feel like there may be some support that comes that like halves your workload or halves your worries. But it may be a bit of a struggle for a while. It feels like this is a bit of a struggling situation you're asking about, and I feel like it will continue to be that way for a while. But nothing is going to be completely collapsing or falling apart. There's nothing completely dreadful that I'm seeing like that. It's more like just uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, a bit difficult, maybe a lot of problems coming up here and there, but nothing that's like earth-shattering for most of you is what I'm seeing. It feels like you're maybe already having to deal with problems. And what I'm seeing is it's just a case of needing to look at them and deal with them one by one. And you may also need to ask for some support, it feels like, for some of you. So yeah, that one was a bit different group 4, but I hope that resonated with you. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below if it did, and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of readings like this. If you're interested in personal readings or Patreon where we do exclusive pick a card readings and channeled readings, then please check out the information in the description box. You can also find details of my PayPal if you'd like to donate to my channel. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.